And even in front on one shot, they understand the difference between a master shot, a medium shot, and a close-up. I've seen a very good actor, you know, give me an acting lesson. He'll do it 3 different ways for wherever the camera is at that time. And that's only learned by experience and by working through it. And he learns that, you know, I have to play it a little broader on a master shot. I'll tone it down a little bit when I get to a medium. And when I get to my close-up, you know, it's very, very subtle. And people understand that.
Yeah, that's good. Okay. I do have a big question I've noticed from Los Angeles down to Orlando. A lot of people put extras on the back of their resume. Now, if you take that to LA or New York and you see extra work on the back, they're going to wonder if you're a serious actor. Is there any input on that? Because I see that a lot in Florida.
You have to just realize that the market that you're in is how to promote yourself in whatever market that you're in. When I'm in LA, I do not care to see anybody's extra credits on the resume. It means absolutely nothing to me. The reason being is that there are over 90,000 people that are registered with Screen Actors Guild, which basically means that these people have gotten jobs in TV or film, and they've had spoken dialogue. And if I'm looking for a person to speak a line, I might be able to find somebody in that 90, 100,000 people to do the job. So it really doesn't mean anything that you've worked as an extra. In this market, I need to see it, because we don't have an overabundance of work here. But I need to know that people understand protocol when they get on the set. I need to know that they're familiar with, you know, the whole process of making movies, and I need to know that. So I celebrate that. I mean, I want to see that when I'm in this particular market, which is a secondary market. I need to see that a person has done some extra work. At least he knows what's going on when he gets in front of the camera. So when you go to LA, you can start getting off, you know, crossing that stuff off. Leave some. If you've had like an extra situation where it was almost like a silent bit, leave it on. Say, hey, you saw me. I was right there. You know, I was right there next to the star, and I was interacting with him. That's not just an extra. It was, you know, you had something, a featured extra bit. So leave that on. Eventually, as you get work, you'll start to cross off those smaller situations that you've been able to get.
Okay. Yeah, that's good to know, and they need to hear that too, which is, I like to hear that. Okay, gosh, is there anything you would like to tell, you know, my audience of anything that you would like to say? Not at all. No. Okay.
I don't. It's just the whole casting process. When a lot of actors come in, for some reason they get this notion. I don't know where it's come from, that we don't want them to do good. That we are somehow a hurdle or a barrier to them getting this job. And the exact opposite. Because they have to understand. Because casting directors we're just lucky enough to get a job on this movie, just like you actors are out trying to get this job. If an actor comes in and he does good, he gets the job, I'm finished. I've done what I was supposed to do. So in the scheme of things, the person that works closest with the actors, even closer than the agents or managers or anything else, are the casting people. We want them to get the work. And so we're on their side. A lot of people come in and they tense up when they walk into the room because they have this feeling that we're there to judge. We're not there to judge. We're there to help and assist. Because if we help and assist, give out the right information, you can get the work. You get the work, we look good. So you and I, the actors and the casting directors, we work in tandem. We don't work apart. And I think actors really need to know that. And the audition process, they need to know that a lot of people, when they go out for an audition, they have, for some reason, when they come home, the person always asks, they will ask the question, well, how did you do? You think you got the work? And actors have to know that auditioning, going out for interviews, is part of the job of a professional actor. And
before my broadcasting days.
Whether you get monetary compensation in that particular situation has nothing to do with it. And also that there's no such thing as rejection. Because you're only rejected by people that know and care about you. The casting process does not reject people. I've seen people.
That's a big question, because a lot of people will ask.
Well, there's no such thing as rejection. I mean, how can I reject you? I don't even know you.
I've heard about you, and I've seen all your credits.
But I can't go around rejecting you, because I've seen people. 3 guys came in to read for me once, and the producer turned to me and said, Mel, who would you like for this role? I said, I don't know. I said, they're all good. They said, yeah, we know they were all good. Who would you like? And I said, well, I know this guy bought a brand new jacket for this show. And they said, he did? And he said, yeah. We said, well, why don't we use this guy? And we'll use his jacket.
Mm-hmm.
And so we hired the actor, and we used him in his jacket.
Hmm.
Now, we were not rejecting the other two actors.
Right, right.
They all did well. It was said in the context of the meeting. These three people did very good.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to give this guy a job because of his jacket.
Right.
So the point is, we're not rejecting the other two people.
Mm-hmm.
It just came down to something as silly and non.
Right.
You know.
That's good because a lot of people ask about that and they say, "Oh, it's a rejection," but that's a very good.
It's no such thing.
Right.
It's not a personal situation. This is a business.
Exactly.
And sometimes you get the job and you walk into the door.
Mm-hmm.
You won't have to open your mouth. And sometimes you'll lose a job when you walk into your door. It has nothing to do with your ability, and nothing to do with you as a person or as a professional. A lot of people say, what do you like or dislike? I don't like or dislike anything. It's that when people come in, they present themselves in a professional manner and realize that when you're coming in, you're dealing with other professionals. And professionals means only one simple thing, is that we get paid for doing what we do, and that's it. It doesn't put us up on a pedestal. It doesn't make us out to be anything other than what we are, but some Joe that's lucky enough to have a job at the time, and that's it.
Right.
Okay, and so it's as simple as that.
That's good. Let me ask you about patience. A lot of parents ask me about patience if they're never used to being on a set. And is there any kind of story that you can tell them about patience and how long it takes for a setup for people that have never been on a set before?
No, that is the nature of the business. You're working on stage, so you have a month of rehearsal. In some cases, of course, a lot shorter. But the nature of the business of TV and film is hurry up and wait. That is the nature of the business.
Right.
And especially when you get to a feature film, the reason they spend $70 million on a film, not a lot of it because of the above-the-line people, the stars get paid a lot of money, but because they'll shoot one scene over and over again. They'll shoot a scene 30 or 40 times until they get it absolutely right. They'll wait, and then that scene will end up being, half a second on the screen.
Right.
And so to get that other second takes just as long again. It is always hurry up and wait. It's a lot of patience. It's a lot of concentration to make it pay off for you.
And they do lunch a lot. Craft services.
No, you read a lot of books.
Right.
I know a lot of people work as extras. When they come to work as an extra, they get a good night's sleep because they know it's going to be a long day sitting around doing nothing. And they bring a good book to read.
Or learn a language.
Or learn a language or do something else, because that is the nature of the business. You expect to come in, and people always, when I would do a show, they say, "My God, we've been here 10 hours. What's the point?"
Right. Okay.
Everybody else has been here 10 hours too. And remember, before you got here, the truck driver and all those people, they've already been here 2 hours. And when you leave, they'll be there another 2 hours. So that 14-hour day for you, or that 12-hour day that you as a performer has you put in, it's a 16, a 17, 18-hour day for the other people that support this. Movie making is a long process. It really is.
Okay, that's great. I'm going to ask you: are there any other do's and don'ts for potential talent that any other pointers that you want to just give? Any do's and don'ts, or what not to do, or?